All right, this is CCQs where I answer all of your questions. If you have any questions that you wanted to ask me but you never have before, let's get to it, okay? Email me at thecashcompass@gmail.com with the header CCQs. I honestly read all the emails, so you can put the header as enchilada if you feel like it, but CCQs. Also consider subscribing because we talk about things that people don't really talk about, but is absolutely crucial. Money, problems, economics, personal finance, all of that. So subscribe, and if you really about your money, hit the bell. The first question is a question that I get all the time, and it's basically, can you guys hire me as a CPA, whether it's for your taxes or your consulting or anything for your business? I am not doing that right now. I actually get that asked a lot, but I don't have the capacity. My job is going to be picking up my day job, and between that, my daughter, and my YouTube channel, I don't have the capacity, and I really like giving people my all. So is it something that I possibly would do in the future? Right now, I don't know. But, in the event that things were not looking so high and I don't know. Maybe in the future, but for right now, I don't. Sorry. But you guys can always come over here and ask me any questions, like I said, at my email, and I will answer for you. I have that in my description if you need, the spelling. All right, the next question is dealing with real estate, and this person basically is thinking about buying another townhouse or a condo to rent out in the near future. They live in California, and they have some homes with some equity in it. Okay, whew. This is loaded. So it's really hard to tell where the real estate market is going to go right now because the Fed is basically telling us, listen, they're not having any intentions on raising interest rates at all, right? And while mortgage rates don't necessarily have to follow the federal funds rate, they normally pretty much do, okay? They normally move in tandem. So if the federal funds rate is not going to move, it's very, very safe to assume that mortgage rates also will not move. So I don't think we will be seeing dramatic increases in mortgage rates for a while, okay? So if you're looking to buy a house, is now the best time? It's so hard to tell because I do think that people are still jobless, so maybe we'll see some more foreclosures, but foreclosures take a little while to process, especially because there's a lot of backed up foreclosures because people were trying to foreclose for the past, maybe 3 months or so, but there was like things in place to kind of forbid people from actually getting foreclosed on, right? So that might take a while to wait out for, okay? So if we were to see prices go down, it might take a while. But on the other hand, because interest rates are not moving upward, that actually makes homes more affordable, which normally ends up leading to more demand, which increases prices, okay? And that's what we've been seeing right now. So home prices, even though there's millions, literally 1 million people or more every single week for the past 23 weeks have been unemployed, okay? So out of the whole 23 weeks that we've had this whole pandemic, there's only been 1 week where we haven't had 1 million jobless claims. And it was still very close to 1 million, okay? So we can have all these people unemployed, but for whatever reason, there's still high demand and there's still increase in prices. So it's kind of hard to tell what's going on with the real estate market. But as far as buying a townhouse or a condo, you have to consider a couple of things, mainly the HOA fees. Okay, because HOAs, outside of being extremely annoying, they can also change their fees, right? So what once was $200 can turn to $600. We don't know how desperate these HOAs will become. We don't know exactly what the status of the real estate will be. And obviously real estate is very local. So I might be in Miami saying, oh my God, things are going nuts. But you could be in the middle of Oklahoma and not really feel much of a difference, right? So there might not be a need for them to raise any HOA fees in your town. But in other towns, maybe there will be a need, okay? But that's still something you have to factor in when you think about getting townhouses or condos. Because obviously if you want to rent them out, that's an expense you have to consider. Can you deduct it? Yes, you can, but you still want to think about the profitability of the property. And this person was also saying, is that bad for somebody at his age? Okay, depending on who you ask, age might be nothing but a number, okay? And I don't think there's any age limit on when you should invest in real estate, especially if you have family that you want to pass that on to when you are no longer here. That is a physical asset. There's always something that can be done with that asset, okay? One reason why I like real estate is because you can make money whether the market is going up or down, right? A lot of people who are in the stock market, in their 401ks, you only make money if the stock market is actually moving up, okay? If I bought my home properly, if I bought my rental properly correctly and it was cash flowing the minute I purchased it, I mean, honestly, the house can go to zero, but I'm still going to have cash flow because the rents are stable, right? So this is an asset class that can move up or down and it won't really affect your bottom line as long as you purchase properly, right? Especially because we have 30-year fixed rate mortgages. I mean, that works for up to 4 units. So you can have a 4-unit home and still take advantage of the 30-year fixed rate mortgages. So if you bought correctly and you are able to cover the mortgage and all the other expenses with the rents, well, then you are pretty much okay, right? You're pretty much cash flowing even if the value of the property were to cut in half. So I know typically they'll tell you, like, if you're in the stock market, maybe you shouldn't invest at this age, because if you are like 50 and then the stock market goes to zero, but you need that money within the next couple of years, yeah, that can obviously be problematic, but I like cash flowing assets because of that. It doesn't really matter what age you are. So if you're looking into real estate, definitely consider it. I am going to be doing a updated video about real estate, because I did have a video that I discussed on the real estate market, but because there's so much different factors being kind of thrown at us literally day by day, I have to make another video on that. So stay tuned for that one. The next question was about me opening a Patreon account and also different ways to support me. So obviously subscribing is a great way to support me. Hitting like on every single video that I have lets me know that you like this kind of content, and it also lets YouTube know that you're interested in this content also, so they can actually curate, you know, your feed to things that you are truly interested in. So it's a win-win, all right? Like the videos, comment on the videos. Any engagement is greatly appreciated, and of course sharing my videos is a great and all free ways of supporting me. But if you're feeling a little bit generous and you want to kind of give a little bit more, I always put like my PO box in my description. I have my Cash App. I believe I have my Venmo. I have different ways you guys can support me if you wanted to monetarily. It's always going to be in my description. Now, I have actually been thinking about making a Patreon, mostly because it's a great way to have like a diversified way to kind of share my information, right? Because YouTube kind of picks and chooses what words they're going to demonetize, right? So you couldn't say coronavirus for a period of time because you weren't going to get monetized. So I think Patreon is a little bit of a different way for me to actually be more free and more open and not have to worry about being kind of censored. But the second reason why I wanted to have a Patreon is because I could get into topics that are a little bit more interesting, not necessarily only financial related, but some other things that I might want to talk about that I have opinions on that I would like to share with people. But, YouTube, again, demonetization, trolls who don't really support you, just coming on here with the negativity. Like, I would want to kind of save that content for my true supporters. And I'm going to read you guys some ideas I've been having. So let me know if it's something you're interested in. I think I might make it a podcast type of thing where I'm just like maybe on my way to work and just kind of talking this out, or I might make videos. I'm not sure. It depends on the kind of capacity that I have. But here are some ideas that I was thinking about for my Patreon. I still have some more ideas, but I'll just give you a little sample, okay? So one is talking about stereotypes and generalizations and why they're actually a good thing. Sounds crazy. How we have been programmed, why Black people are still behind. I might make that a main channel thing, but I don't know. Okay. How the government programs destroy us, like welfare and things like that, actually detrimental to us. How I feel about voting, how cancel culture just creates a society of punks. Okay. Oh, a little bit intense, but those are things I've been thinking about talking about. I definitely think I want to do it, so let me know. Just in case you guys don't know what Patreon is, it's basically like a YouTube, but you can have podcasts, you can have videos on there, different type of outlets, and it's like a subscription based thing. So you can pay $3 a month and then you'll have access to that exclusive content. The next question is another real estate question, kind of talking about investing in California. Guys, if you live in California, oh my God, I love California, okay? This is no disrespect to California, but that state is pretty much bankrupt, okay? And they are going to do whatever they can to try to extract wealth out of everybody because they've been giving so much social programs. I'm not against social programs. I do think that they're everything in the world, right? Like you can have too much of a good thing, right? So they are actually proposing taxes right now where if you lived in California 10 years ago, you're still going to be subject to the tax. They're going to try to chase you around wherever state you went to and tax you. Okay, there's like wealth tax. I mean, a lot of these things are unconstitutional, but because the Constitution now just seems to be a suggestion, people are getting away. And when I say people, I mean governments. Governments are getting away with whatever they can. So while I don't know if this is going to actually be true in actual taxes, but they are trying to tax people. They're trying to tax you for your property, which is unconstitutional. They use special words to get around the Constitution, and I can imagine this is only going to get worse. So I think investing in California in particular might be a little bit, risque. You have to kind of proceed with caution. Any of these states that run really big deficits and have like these kind of really great welfare programs, you do have to be careful because when the time comes, they are going to look for money. And how can they get that? Through taxing you, okay? And if people are unemployed, they're going to try to come for your property and get around the Constitution by using, cute little words that kind of, get around what the Constitution actually wanted. Okay, so be cautious. And that's really for anywhere. California is kind of like foreshadowing what will happen with other states that have been spending and have really had strong deficits, because states, at least as it stands right now, they cannot go bankrupt. So what will happen? If the state cannot go bankrupt and they don't have money, well, certain programs will have to end. People will have to lose jobs in the government. They're actually talking about that in New York also. In New York, the MTA, they're considering laying off people, stopping some services, and actually increasing the fare, okay, as if New York isn't expensive as it is. So these big states are under a lot of pressure. This COVID did not make anything any better. So please do your research, kind of look at what's going on, not only from like, interest rate perspective, but like deep down, like what's to come for taxes. All right. One of these questions is a question that I get a lot, but I'm going to go in order. Okay. How old am I? I am 28. I just turned 28. I am a Cancer, born July 11. My birthday just passed. So go Cancers. Would I consider moving to another state because Miami is expensive? Absolutely. I have been considering moving. I'm not sure if it's going to be a short-term or a long-term thing, but if I move, it might be back to New York, which is where I'm from, or it might be out of the country. I mean, at this rate, I don't know. It just really depends on what's going on with America, like, with this whole COVID, with the whole vaccination thing. That's another thing I might even say for like a Patreon kind of discussion, like vaccines and all that jazz. But I would definitely consider moving out of Miami. I'm not tied down to any state in particular. I like Miami, but I could move to New York. I could move to California. But all those states are they're under pressure. So I don't know. And this is a question I get all the time. Like, are you single? Are you single? Are you married? Da, da, da. I am single. I've been single for a while, and, not really for any rhyme or reason. It's just nice to kind of just do me. If the right person came along, then, I might entertain it. But for right now, I am just chilling. All right. The next question was not really a question. It's more of a statement. And this person was saying I should really do a video on, my intro. I always say these are all things that we should have learned in school about money, but for whatever reason, they forgot to mention it. Kind of going into more detail about why they forgot to mention it, which when I'm using forget, I'm saying that very loosely. I don't think they forgot. But kind of talking about maybe tracking education and who kind of is in control of our education and why are these things kind of left out. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments and I will work on that. Some of these videos take a lot of research, but so it might not come out like next week, but I'll work on putting that research together for you guys. Oof. All right, I'm going to stop there because this video is really getting kind of long, I can see. So I don't want these videos to be too long, unless you guys like long videos. But I'm going to save the rest of them that I have for later. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. I try to give you guys personal emails before I actually put them on the CCQs. So if you have something that's pressing, I want to get to you before I actually get to recording it. So I will be responding to emails. If it takes a little bit longer, I'm sorry, but I'm getting a lot more than I anticipated, which is great, So if you guys have questions, again, just feel free to hit me up at thecashcompass@gmail.com. But that will do it. If you like this video, then please like this video and share with your friends. And if you have anything else going on, you know what to do. Go ahead and binge watch me. And until next time, keep your money up.